Not good morning, good afternoon, folks. It is now 12:05 on Friday the 9th of June, 2017, sorry. Today's vid is going to be about Satanism in Scotland, as you can see. For those who don't know, or who don't believe, well, you're wrong. There is Satanism in Scotland, and it's pretty... While it's not common, it's pretty widespread. It's certainly how do I put it? It's a worry, and it is a worry. For those who know me, know that I'm not religious at all. But I am a great believer in each to their own. You know, we all have our own opinions and our own beliefs, etc. I'm not saying I'm right. Well, yeah, I am, but. But whatever gets you through the day is good to me. I don't care what other people believe in. I don't care, and it certainly wouldn't affect how I see them or treat them or anything like that. It's not my place to stand in judgment of other people's beliefs. As I believe it's not theirs to stand in front of mine. Anyway, my religion is, or lack of, is not the point. Whether I believe in God or whether you believe in God or Satan, again, is not the point. It's not us going around being fuckshits. What we believe is irrelevant. It's what they believe that's the issue. And they clearly believe that the devil, or Satanism, evil, for another way to put it, is the force that guides the world. And to be honest, they've probably got a point. But they actually... I don't even know how to put this. God, it's such a difficult subject to discuss. Especially when there's nobody else to discuss it with you and you're just talking to yourself. But anyway, I'm just going to go through some of the incidents that I have discovered myself that have happened in Scotland, or that have been reported to have happened in Scotland, and you can take from it what you want. I know what I think, and I think there's certainly far too many incidents for it just to be brushed aside. Whether there is a major satanic problem in Scotland or not, there's certainly enough evidence to warrant a reasonable investigation into it, because there's far too many occurrences, there's far too many satanic panic incidents for it all to be bullshit. It's just not possible. As you can see here, I mean, you can go back decades, and Satanism is a religion in Scotland. I don't know if I've got it here actually, but I looked up the other day, I stumbled across, I was looking up something totally different as per usual. I stumbled across the fact that the Scottish Prison Service classifies Satanism as a religion, and not only is it classified, but they make allowances for Satanists in the prisons. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that. People in prison for a reason. Now, there are some people, of course there are, that are locked up and they shouldn't be. They're patsies, and we know this happens. But there are some that are there because they're little fucking wankers, and they deserve to be there, and they should never get out. I don't think that the religion has anything to do with anything. I don't give a shit what religion you are. Murder and child abuse and torture and ritual abuse, that's just fuck shit. I don't care whether it's because you're Jewish or whether you're a Satanist or whether you're a Catholic or what the fuck ever. I don't care. Just stop it. I mean, just... I feel like a bit of an idiot. I'm having to point out that this is not a good thing. Satanism is bad, okay? God, it goes to show the state of play when you actually feel yourself or hear yourself explaining that it's not a good thing. But anyway, as you can see, that one there, the Orkney, there is a lot to the Orkney case, and I don't know, but it's been so fucked up and so twisted and so covered up and just deliberately manipulated that it's very difficult to get to the truth. I believe the kids, as always. I will go with the kids with what they say. I don't give a shit whether the kids are come across as being believable or not. You believe the kids until you prove them wrong. And that is it. There is no discussion with me over that one. You believe the kids, because kids don't make this shit up, and they just don't. I've brought up 5 kids, and it never would occur to any of them, this kind of stuff. I mean, it doesn't occur to them because they've never been through it. They've never experienced anything even remotely close to this. And that is why you know that these kids aren't making it up, because they need to have some sort of experience to be able to come up with this crap. I do know that one of the girls involved, I'm going to try and keep away from names and stuff, because it's, I don't know, and I don't want to accuse people or put words into people's mouths that they haven't said, but there was one girl that I do know, it's been kind of covered up a wee bit. They changed names of the home she was in, etc. But she was in Radry, which is in the Black Isle, up north of Inverness. It's shut down now, funnily enough. But she was in Radry, and she got abused in Radry. Now, this is meant to be after, or this was after, she was taken from her home in Orkney. I think it was her parents, or her father certainly was abusing her. And the rest of the children. He was jailed for it. And then she was put in Radry, and the bloke that was there, a single man, who, in all his wisdom, his paedophilic wisdom, decided that it'd be a fucking fantastic idea if he would, he stayed there overnight, a fantastic idea if he moved his bedroom to right beside the girls' rooms. Now, there was nobody else there overnight, it's just him. And he abused this girl, and she was already traumatised and abused, and she was abused even more. And the satanic aspect of it, I don't know. I believe the kids. I'm going with the kids, you know, and you go with the kids and you see what you find, and some of the stuff that they described is no. And some of the letters that were sent to these kids from people involved in this apparently so-called, whatever you want to call it, yada yada, abuse ring, paedophilic abuse ring, ritual abuse, should I say. Some of the people, they wrote to the kids, and it's coded, and it absolutely is coded. And why would you need to send coded letters to your kids, or to any kids, unless there is something you're hiding? I mean, I've never sent a coded letter to my kids, unless it's been sweeties or underneath. You know what I mean? It's not a thing you do, is send coded letters, far less to kids that aren't even your own. Anyway, this boy here, he's a grown man, Dave Marrow. You should watch. He's got 2 videos online. They should definitely be watched. He struggles himself with not knowing what the truth is. He knows the truth, but a lot of his memories, he'll say himself, are difficult to comprehend even for him. They're so jumbled in his head. Now, he fully admits this. He's not saying that every word he's saying is true, but he can just watch it, because I mean, what he says, again, some of it is believable, some of it isn't. You have to wonder how much is being deliberately implanted into their brains. The deliberate memory implants. I don't mean implants as in computer chip implants. I mean memories that have been implanted in their brains, and to twist how they remember things, and it makes them sound so unbelievable. And he goes on about aliens a wee bit, which, again, each to their own. What you believe is what you believe. What I believe, it doesn't really matter. Do I think that he was probed by aliens? Or no, I don't even think he thinks that himself. But he does remember things like that. And now, how can he remember that? He also talks about, which I find very intriguing, he also talks about a pop-up hospitals, military hospitals, like the likes of he says himself, like MASH type, you know, these tents. It was like that, he says, and he was, well, operated on. It's the only way I can experimented on. I mean, he has marks all over his body. He has, I mean, you can, like I say, see it yourself. It really is a good video. And there's an hour-long one, and there's one that's nearly 2 hours long. The hour-long one is, funnily enough, only half of the 2 hour long one. But the 2 hour long one, while it is 2 hours, it is definitely worth it. It's very good. Funnily enough, guess where he's from? Oh, look, Orkney. Now, he talks about the ritualistic drinking of blood, etc., and ancestral abuse. He was adopted into the family who were obviously incestual. He talks about the murdering of animals, the drinking of the blood. He's not lying. He's confused about a lot of it, and I'm not surprised. But he's not lying, and you can tell he's not lying. You just have to watch him. He does initially, to begin with. I was a wee bit wary. He can't focus and he can't look at the camera, which I understand because I'm exactly the same. But it does tend to make him look a little bit guilty, almost, or if he's hiding something, which he is. He's hiding himself. He's just so. He knows that if people look into his eyes, they might be able to see in his soul, almost. You know, he's scared, and he does relax as he goes into the the interview, and you actually get to see a part of real him. And he's not lying, and he just isn't. But anyway, the other case we had, the other major satanic panic, it didn't happen, was the Lewis one. Again, it was so fucked up. The social services, it's been so manipulated. There's so little in any of the newspapers, etc. There's very, very little written about it. Do I think it's real? Yeah, probably. Actually, I do. Pardon me, sorry, I'm yawning away here. But I also think that whilst a lot of these people do believe in Satanism and are satanic bastards, and they are worshipping the devil, I also think there's an element of them that are fucking liars. They're just paedophiles, and this gives them an excuse. Oh, but I'm not a paedophile, I'm a Satanist. That makes okay then. I think they also use it, the satanic aspect. I think they also use it obviously to make the kids sound unbelievable. They do such bizarre, fucked up things that any child coming to you saying these things, you're going to immediately think, what the fuck? And it works. People they haven't believed the kids. I understand why, but I don't know. I've just always been of the mindset that you always believe the kids. Then we'll go from there. Because see, if you don't believe them, then you risk fucking them up as something chronic. I mean, the abuse is bad enough for these kids. It's horrendous. But then having people disbelieve them, especially those close to them, and call them liars, that just fucks them. It just takes it to a whole new level of fuck shitty. I mean, here's a typical, whether they're actual Satanists or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really mean Satanism, satanic, whatever. It's just a word. You could call it banana, and it doesn't take away from what they're doing. You know, it's Satanism. Call it what you like, pure evil. Doesn't matter. If what they're doing is just horrendous. This girl, age 6, the abuse that she talks of. I mean, this is, I think, Dundee, was it? 5 Dundee, can't remember. But yeah, I mean, abusing her. And Satan slaves. I mean, for the love of God. She's struggled her entire life. I mean, because she's been so. There we go. 5 Glenorthus, Dunfermline. Yep, it's always fucking 5. Okay, not always, but a lot. There was a big. A big satanic club, kind of like Hell's Angels, I suppose. Maggie's Club in Dunfermline pops up quite a lot in the past. Just nothing concrete, just links. And then we have, we have him, which few people know about, the Christian Assemblies. It was a cult, and this one's a money-making cult, and that's what he did it for. I mean, wow, he's just special. This guy was all over the world, and I mean all over the world. And again, there's videos online, his survivors talking about the abuse they suffered, and these poor men are just destroyed, just absolutely destroyed. And they're adults now, obviously. And he destroyed their lives, and there's no other way you can put it other than that. Now, he was in, I'll wait for it, but he was down in Dundee. Oh no, Perthshire, there we go. Perthshire. Now he's Scotland, Europe, was it Germany? Can't remember exactly where in Europe. Austria, I know that's Australia, I knew he was in Australia. There we go. I mean, he goes on in itself about it's just also fucked up. I don't even know how to describe it. It's brainwashing. I mean, these people, when you get into the likes of these cults, they do so because they've had a traumatised life, and they're broken people to begin with, and so they're an easy target, and they just want loved, and they want to feel like they fit in, and well, you can see how they're easily roped into these cults, and of course initially they're treated like they're fucking goddesses and everything's great, but then very rapidly once they're trapped, very rapidly goes downhill until they're living in hell, and of course by that point it's too late, they're stuck. I mean, there's another one. Speaking from a home in Ayrshire, Bell said the code of the group followers based in Hamilton recently. I mean, it's talking cults in Hamilton. I mean, really, when you read it, it's so unbelievable, but it doesn't make it any less true, does it? Yeah, it's unbelievable, and yeah, it's extreme, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening. This one is just horrific. I mean, just wow. There is numerous articles online that you can, I mean, I've gathered some of them, most of them that I can find together and put them in this vlog here. Now this is 2015, as you can see, 2016, 2014, so we're not talking that long ago. And yeah, Kate Short from Kilmarnock based charity, oh god, I can't even speak. Kate Short, founder of Kilmarnock based childhood abuse charity, Break the Silence. In the worst cases, people have been forced to watch the making of snuff movies. In the extreme barbaric type of terror, that can lead to a serious personality disorder. No, it can't adjust. Kids, brothers and sisters, forced to having sex with each other, animals. I mean, you name it, they just, if it's fuck shitted and sexual, they're up to it. There is no, the depravity is just off the scale. And I've been doing this for a while now, a few years now, but, and even I to this day, I still say, oh yeah, I've seen it all. Yep, there's nothing that can shock me. And I do believe that, and there is nothing that can shock me until the next time when a new level of just fuck shittedness is revealed, and your heart just thinks, wow. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, they get even more fucked up. I mean, Scots children filmed in pedo snuff, yep. And the two leading charities in Scotland are both claiming, or two of the leading charities, child abuse charities, these are independent charities, they're both claiming this is happening. Now, again, whether you believe it or not, it's kind of irrelevant, or it is to me certainly. There's enough evidence to warrant a serious fucking look into this, but it's not. I mean, when was the last time you heard about the Satanic snuff movies being made in Scotland? Paedophilic ones at that. Well, you don't hear about it, you don't get it in the mainstream media. Well, this is mainstream, but you know what I mean, you don't get it on the TV, it's not going to be BBC One at prime time, is it? So people don't realise it's going on, and people just don't notice. It's drip fed to us as well. So you get one article now, you'll get another article in a year's time, another one in 6 months after that, and so unless you actually put it all together like I have done here, and gathered all these articles together, you don't realise how much is going on. I mean, we know there has been child snuff in Britain. So if you know there's been child snuff in Britain, why not in Scotland? It's going to be here, of course it is. It's everywhere else, why not Scotland? There's a lot of it, like I say, a lot of circumstantial evidence, call it what you like. Enough to warrant a decent investigation, and enough for this to be taken very, very, very seriously. I mean, nowadays it's not just, they don't just make movies and films and DVDs and whatever, they live stream it. It's live streamed. Children being raped and tortured and murdered is live streamed over the internet from Scotland. Wow. It just beggars belief. Which brings me to another one. Tots killed in Satan orgies. And this isn't specifically Scotland, it is Britain. Mutilated animals, necrophilia, bestiality, sadomasochism. Basically every perversion is a witch's out, and yes it is. Now, this again is another expert, Mrs. Sinison, Director of Clinic for Dissociative Studies. It said, and she's right, it said the Fred West case showed people could be dead when nobody even knew they were missing. So this, I mean, and all these kids that are vanishing, take the Syrian kids, I'm not saying they're all satanically abused, but for example, there's been about 300 odd Syrian refugee kids vanished, gone, in Britain, in the past, 2 years. Now obviously, Jamie is be alive and well, or some of them, but some of them won't be, and they're kids. We know what they do with kids, we know how much money they try and make out of kids, because that's what it is ultimately all about at the top. It's about making money. There's a lot of money to be made from a child. Oh, it's just so bad. And there we go. Satanic killers tell of blood drinking rites. She came to Germany 6th, no, yada yada. She became a Satanist in Britain. Laurie Matthews, she's really good. She has oh shite, what's it called? Well, 18 and under. But she, Izzy's Promise, that's what it's called. Izzy's Promise in Dundee. Laurie Matthews, she's a hero of mine, I must admit. That woman's got balls of steel. She's got a few books out as well. I've read one of them. I've partly read another one of them. But yeah, this stuff she comes away with. Dundee is just it's the devil's playground, I swear to God. I mean, they just, the satanic abuse that goes on in and around Dundee is just wow. And like I say, whether every single one of these articles is 100% accurate or not, I don't know. But there's too many of them. There was one, hold on, where did I find it? There we go. Witches rife in Inverness. This is from February the 9th, 1998. A Highland minister stunned his flock yesterday by claiming a witches' coven is active in his parish. Reverend John Butcher said the local lawyer and doctor were part of a Satan worshipping sect. So again, we're talking about the elite again. A local lawyer and doctor. It's not Joe Bloggs, it's not the bin man, it's not the lollipop man, and it's not just men. But he made his stunning claims to a packed congregation at the Nest Bank Church in Inverness, and 250 shocked parishioners listened as the ministers warned youngsters to beware of witches and devil worshippers. After the service, the retired minister, standing in for a colleague, said, I raised the matter of satanic rites being conducted locally to warn the congregation, especially younger members, that such practices were totally against the teachings of the Bible. I have absolutely no reason to doubt what I was told about the coven operating in and around Inverness. I am sure that my informant was being completely honest, quite honest with me. I had to balance the risk of unnecessarily giving publicity to people who dabble in evil spirits against my desire to ensure other people weren't enticed into that kind of mumbo-jumbo. The purpose for choosing this sermon was to make it clear that evil spirits were not just something found in biblical terms, but that are around us today. People who dabble in the occult are affected by evil spirits, and see this, I don't know. But you get the point. He was, well, you can read yourself, but again, he's practically ridiculed for his opinion on this, and he's right. He's absolutely right. And here's some more. These are Scottish ones, all Scottish. Good. Wee Freeze in the bid to abolish Halloween, yeah, they're right. Another satanic, I mean, well, all holidays are satanic. They're all twisted Luciferian shite. But yeah, I mean, he's going on about how cults, etc., are working in the area in Inverness. Well, he's right, and I know he's right because I got one. Or found one. Found one! As you do. The Jesus alien cult. Apparently they're a good cult, okay? The God's Eye. Wow. They've got a cult sect in Inverfarrig, in the banks of Loch Ness. Funnily enough, as you can see here, it's less than a mile from Beliskin House. Shocker. And as you can see, it's got a nice view of everybody, where it has its own private pier, just like Alistair Crowley had his own private pier just there, within a mile of each other. But they're a good cult, right? Good cult. They're actually quite a big. They've got quite a big following. They're quite a big cult. I mean, they started up in England somewhere. I don't know. They pray to God and they go up a mountain and do weird shit. Oh, this is according to them. They pray for good things, right? They're good. Ugh, don't even get me started on Charlie Sheen. Wow, that man is just a vile paedophile. And it was him that raped the Feldmans. Just in case anyone knows this, it doesn't know, it was him. Did you know, right? Inverness, this is the Caledonian Canal. It's Loch Ness, right? Did you know from Inverness to Fort Augustus, where there was all the Jimmy Savile abuse and all the monks' abuse, etc., if you go down one side, it's 33 miles. And if you go up the other side, it's 33 miles too. Isn't that amazing? Coincidental, of course. And yeah, it's to something ridiculous like 0.2%, 0.2 of a mile, sorry. I've got it down to, I mean, within 0.2 of a mile of 33 miles. Each side. That's arguable, barely. So yeah, so what the minister was going on about, well, there you go, there's a cult. He's not wrong, is he? Yes, he is. His wife says so, and I agree. His ex-wife caught him looking at images, etc., online, and this is all. She came out and said all this. It's all recorded. It's on YouTube. How she started noticing what the kids were doing to each other and what they were doing to animals, and the usual signs of children being sexually abused were there, and she began to get worried. And yeah, he threatened her within an inch of her life, but fair play to her, she came out and she told the truth. It's all there. Where am I going now? Oh yeah, that was the other one. Talking about more modern. This one was in the paper recently. What's the date? I'm not quite sure. 2015. There we go. August the 1st, 2015. I mean, they take the piss in the papers, don't they? The Blue Sticks Project. And it's all ridiculed. But, right, there's people going out in the woods with ritualistic sticks and images and whatever you want to call them. And they're having rituals. Well, what is that if it's not fucking Satanism? I mean, yeah, of course, as I briefly mentioned there, of course, there's Alistair Crowley. I mean, can't get much more satanic than that. Sculptor's Cave. Sculptor's Cave is, well, I don't even know where to start. It is within Gordonston, the Gordonston School grounds. It's within 1 mile of Gordonston School. It's right in the coast, in the northeast coast, sorry, in Scotland, as you can see. We have Inverness, Port George. It's Closcarden abuse, of course, Gordonston abuse, of course. We've got Findhorn, we've got Kinross base, we've got Port George base, we've got RAF Lossiemouth base. I don't know. It's along here anyway. It's reasonably close to everything. I mean, it's not that far away from anywhere. Let's see, coasty, that's the word I was looking for. And it's just a cave, well, you'd think, except it was used in ancient times. Pictish, I think they're saying it is. Yeah, Pictish kind of ceremonial, where they sacrificed people, actually. And there's been so obviously there's been rituals going on there in years gone by. So it would make it certainly a lot more likely that that's happening today. Even the signs, there's nothing at all sexual here at all, is there? Nope. And the star, the upside down star like that as well. And that's the Goat Mendes, isn't it? The horns. Yep. Never mind. But when I was looking into the whole abuse at Gordonstoun, I came across this video by pure chance. It's just a boy, a young boy. He's not a boy, he's a man, but he's a young man, and he's just interested in caves, and he's just trying to go around, or was just going around Scotland. I think I put him off. Poor boy. I think I broke his head. He just goes around a few caves and a few different places. He did Boleskine as well, and a few other places. He goes round and has a wee look and has a nosy and makes wee videos about them. Well, he didn't know what he stumbled across until I pointed it out to him, and yeah, I think I scared him. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to. But his video, like I say, you can tell by the way he's speaking, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just making a nice wee video. I took one look at him and I was horrified. I mean, there we go. Now, these are screenshots, they're not great, but you can see it better in the video itself. And he explains it's a pile of dead birds, just before he got to the cave. And that's, I mean, you can see there's a lot of dead carcasses there. Now, these weren't on the ground or anything, they were obviously in the pile, as you can see. These were kind of, I think they were about shoulder length, shoulder height, sorry, eye height, roughly. So deliberately placed together by somebody. And then as you go into the cave, there's this, which I have subsequently spoken to him, and yes, that was wood, and it is ashes around it. So a bit of burnt wood and some ashes around it. Somebody's having a fire in this cave. And there was 2 large boulders behind it, and when I say large boulders, they're really big. I mean, they're huge. On top of the boulders, well, you can see for yourself. Now this is the first boulder, the front one. Now we've got shells and wood, and then that's a bone of some sort. I don't know what kind. That looks like bird. This one, that's large. That is either human or animal, I would say. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but there's a blackbird's beak. I mean, if you look at the bone size in comparison to the bird head, that's a reasonable thick bone. I mean, that's it there. I would say more likely animal than human, but I may be wrong, I don't know. But it is a big bone. More animal, bird, I assume. I don't know. That's a lot of stuff. Sticks and stones and shells and dead bits of dead animals. And the boulder behind it was this. Again, very placed. None of this is screaming kids playing to me. This is screaming some sort of ritual fuck shittery. But yeah, you should check it out. Check out the video. It's good. And the boy's nice. He's a nice kid. I think I broke him. Oops. Now, it was in the MSM last year. I'm going to find it. Oh, there it's there. Oops. It's in the mainstream media about how 2015 last year, 2 years ago. This is Sculptor's Cave here. And as you can see the markings inside. And they go on about how there was decapitated heads and teeth found. Now, these are historic, right? We know this because we're told. But what they're not saying is that this wasn't found last year, if it's the same incident. Because they actually found it decades ago. So, what the fuck was in the MSM this year then? Or last year then? Is it the same event, just regurgitated? Or the same bones, just regurgitated, sorry, should I say, to fill in, I don't know, pages of the newspapers. Or have they found more and they're just not, and they're disguising it as the same? I mean, it reminds me so much of Haute Legrand. It was teeth and skulls then too. What? And there we go. 65 human milk teeth. And they were found skulls as well. I don't know. I don't know about that one. It could be easily could be either. It could be easily be just the mainstream media just regurgitating an old story, or it could easily be that they've been found new, which means more children dead. And when it comes to Police Scotland, especially up in the Grampian area, they wouldn't know the truth if it came up and smacked them in the face. So we can't believe a word what they say. I mean, if they tell us, I mean, how do they know? Oh, we're told it's they're ancient artefacts. Yeah, by Police Scotland. Yep, okay, right. Believable, not. Of course, as we all know, Gordonston, Prince Charles is old school. Not only Prince Charles, a lot of the elite from all over the world, but certainly the royal family in Europe, etc., they all go there, or went there, and still do. A lot of abuse. Even Charles has come out and spoken of abuse and how he hates it so much, and these abuse claims aren't just his doing. I mean, there you go, there's one there. 2014, teacher sacked for downloading child porn images. So it's still happening now. There was another one reasonably recently about a lassie being raped. It's just horrendous. I mean, and of course, the files were lost. Files containing details from Gordonston were lost. They go on amongst all the 30 missing files that I've found, or not found, but I found evidence of 30 different cases of missing files, and they all concern CSA. Haute Legrand, of course, as we know, was used by Savile and Ted Heath, etc. And funnily enough, Savile and Charlie, so I mean there's another link to the area. And what the hell is this? Bergerac dug the graves at Jersey Chihuahua. Missing kids, Savile. It's all interlinked, isn't it? Oh, bestest buds, how the fuck? Just wow. Lord Mountbatten, pedo sadist, and that's the Queen, who was age 14 when she first got together with Phil, her straight cousin. I mean, they're both got the same grandfather. I mean, that was going to turn Charles. Charles wasn't. He didn't have much. He didn't have much chance, did he? He was always going to be an inbred fuckshit. Necrophilia and it's all, like I say, it's all interlinked. All this Satanism and the royals, and it's people. The minute you hear the word satanic, they think of chanting, etc. And yes, there is that element to it, or some of it, but not all of it. I mean, children hunted by dogs in the UK, I would say that's pretty fucking satanic. Does it matter whether they were wearing robes? It just depends on your definition of what Satanism is, I suppose. To me, it's just pure evil. That's Satanism. It's satanic. It's evil. It's fuckshitted, and it's vile. It doesn't bother me whether they're actually chanting Hail Satan or not. They don't have to for it to be satanic in my head, anyway. Again, although I don't have any evidence of this happening in Scotland, I kind of do. Through one of the lassies that was wrongly locked up in Lennox Castle. There's nothing wrong with the lassie, and I mean nothing wrong with her. She has subsequently, since becoming an adult, etc., and escaping, she's had medical evaluations. There's nothing wrong with the woman. anything that is wrong with her was caused by being in Elena's castle. Where she did by chance get pregnant, of course. She wasn't that fucked in the head. And obviously the workers could still, whoever it was, nurse, whatever, doctor, whatever it was. And then of course they tried to get the poor woman's, when she got pregnant, they tried to get the poor woman's kid taken off her to shut her up. And she fought them, fair play to her. She did fight them, and she won. She got her boy. Should I say they didn't get her boy, and yeah, she still has him. There we go. Maria regularly ran away. She was not the only one. Those who did were chased by dogs through the surrounding woods. When they returned, they were locked up for 6 weeks, placed on mattresses on the floors, drugged and forbidden visitors. They also talk about how they were pissed on, and those who think that this doesn't happen in Scotland or anywhere, you just have to look. Don't take my word for it. I mean, use my blogs and that. I'll leave links in the description. Use the links that I've left there to other stuff and find your own way. You know, it's just so much of it. Far too much for it to be untrue. And anyone that doesn't address the SRA that's going on, well, you've got to question the motives, because it is going on. And that is a fact. I don't care what anyone says. And I will not change my mind on that. God, we've even got Aquino. Oh, he's a goddamn baron. Aquino. What? How can Aquino be a baron in Scotland? Half, or more than half of Scotland, don't even know who Aquino is. Just wow. But yeah, I'll leave you there. And like I say, I'll leave some links in the description, and help yourself, go for broke. I would say enjoy, but you know what I mean. Catch you later. Bye.